Hey YouTube, coming at you with my first Hisui Cup team, and what I did was I started on the backline to beat Drapion. So I had Gastrodon as just the must-slap user as the obvious one. Gliscor is a pretty good option because it is a flyer ground, so the ground resists the poison. Flyer doesn't do much, but you do have an earthquake. Sorry, the ground doesn't do much, but you do have an earthquake on it, so you can hit super effective there. Takes a long time to get to, like they're getting to 2 Aqua Tails before you get to that, and Aqua Tail is super effective, and it takes 2 to take out, so there is some baiting involved. And then I put Electrode on the front, not because I'm like, oh, I got to cover some weaknesses in the back, truly because I knew it was going to be a good Pokemon in this meta and I wanted to test it. And then very quickly, I kind of recognized the team did not work. So that being said, I started 5-0, and I'll show you that 5-0, followed by an 0-5. And I actually have a video coming up. I have a video coming up maybe sometime later this week of a subscriber who went 10-0 and then he went 1-4. And the question is like, when do you switch a team if you start out well? Is it just like, does one set make you switch a team? Is it something in your new ELO range that makes you switch team? For me, even though I went 5-0, I finished the 0-5, even though I would have stopped the team honestly after the first loss, because even in these 5 wins, you are going to see I have to jump around a lot. You are double weak to ice. So Gliscor is double weak to ice and Electrode is weak to ice. You will have problems with some like ground type Pokemon where what was it? Like Electrode gonna have problem with ground type Pokemon, and Gliscor is like, okay, I know, I guess Gliscor is okay. There was another like something that kind of screwed me up here, and I'll go over it when I see it. But bad lead, but I do have 2 in the back. Gliscor is a safe swap. So as you're seeing here, Fury Cutter is neutral, Poison Sting is resisted, but the Aqua Tails just come at an insane speed. But the Fury Cutters are adding up because it's a fast charging move, but it also does okay chip damage. And I bait the Aerial Ace, and now I can go to the second one. So even if I don't grab a shield, I don't think it'll take out, but even if it doesn't, being able to chip to the like 1 HP is all I need. So I grabbed a shield and I took it to 1 HP. So job well done. Coming in Gastrodon, almost as like a sacrifice, just because I figure if you have Drapion on the front, you have an answer to Gastrodon in the back. Like this meta is very, very limited, and Gastrodon is the hardest answer to Drapion. And there is your Vespiquen. Vespiquen or Vespiquen? Vespiquen, I only see one N. So gets the X scissor off. I have this shield, extra shield, so I will burn 1 shield. I'm going straight Wild Charge. It is only 1 extra to get to Wild Charge. I don't think it's worth the bait. And they do not shield, so I take it out and Swift. So a subscriber accurately points out, I mentioned in my video, every time I mention Clefable with Swift, I'm like, Swift is a bad move. And then I think I said in the other video, Swift is better on Electrode. And I think I maybe said it was because it's a okay move. The difference between why, and then I made a joke that like the attack stat on Electrode is higher than the attack stat on Clefable, so that's why it feels better, which may be true. It is 6 points higher in the attack stat, so maybe that is true. Here's your double to ice, which I'm going to have to get like outdo. You're going to see, I just go into my, you may be thinking, what are you doing here? Fury Cutter is super effective and Aerial Ace is super effective. So yes, I'm taking double super effective from the Powder Snows, but at the same time, I'm putting on a lot of real fast move and shield pressure. So it's basically just trying to grab shields, take out. Like I could take this right now if they let this go. I think they'll probably shield because they know I just came into a double weak from a single weak. And then at best I have Gastrodon. I know I'm coming in here. Yeah, so like there's all sorts of problems that I'm going to get out with. Anyways, why I feel Swift is better on Electrode versus Clefable is Clefable's Swift in itself is not an amazing move. It is, let me just open up. I don't know why I don't start with PV Poke open it because I always reference it like 4 times in a video. Swift in terms of damage is 55 damage. So 35 energy, 55 damage, 1.57. So 55 damage is pathetic. It is bad. So I'm not wrong. It's a bad move. When I said it was good, on electrode. Why it's good is when you have Clefable takes 7 turns to get to a Moonblast. So it takes 14 overall. Whereas it only takes 10 here to get to a Wild Charge. So pretty much in every scenario here, it's just an easy, you go Wild Charge. Unless it's like resisted or double resisted on grass. On ground. And grass, I guess, resisted on grass. Then you're going potentially Swift. But if you are just going neutral in every other situation, you're just going Wild Charge. Whereas the Moonblast is much trickier to get to. Like, the difference between 10 turns to get to and 14 turns to get to is significant. And in a lot of those matchups, it does require Swift to act as a bait. Whereas here, you're not really baiting with Swift. You're just either using it when Wild Charge is resisted, in which you're in a bad matchup anyways, or if you've already like landed a Wild Charge and you only get to wake one more move. So that's why I think Swift is better on Electrode than it is on Clefable. As you can see there, just go straight nuke. In the back is a Magnezone, which is a nice for me. I bait. I don't know why I baited. I think it was because like I know it took so long to get to. And it's a Shadow Magnezone, so even if they didn't shield, which they did not, which is annoying, but I don't think it matters because Wild Charge is resisted, and these Fury Cutters and resisted Fury Cutter and resisted Air Release are adding up. So they have to Wild Charge, still doesn't take out. They're going to try and farm down, not going to happen. And Gliscor just resisted moves, taking out the Magnezone. And another Driftman lead, so good lead, they'll probably get out. Into Skunk. So just going Swift here. I probably should have gone one more to bait. Yeah, this is dumb. Yeah, that's dumb. And I have... Okay, there's a lot going on here. 1. Just go to the Wild Charge. And you can bait Swift if you want, but go to the Wild Charge. 2. You may be wondering, why are you not coming Gastrodon when Gastrodon is just an easy Mud Slap user? With the Driftbend lead... And I don't even know if this is right. I don't even remember this team, but probably in the moment, my thought process was Driftbloom lead, poison safe swap. If they are running a double poison team, they want to draw out Gastrodon. They do have Trailblaze on Skunk, so you can pull out a Gastrodon and hit it with a Trailblaze, and then maybe in the back they have a second Pokemon weak to ground. And there it is. It is a Luxray. So exactly what I kind of maybe expected in the moment. Why they're not using Shield, I don't know. But they let their Shadow Luxray get to 50% health. And now it's just going to be slapped down very quickly. And the Drifblim does not have much health left. So I will just commit to the slap down here. And take that win. Staraptor, good lead. So I got some good leads here, except for that like ice couple. I think a couple ice ones. Bastiodon, instant domination here. Just gonna take every move. Every move is resisted. Fast move, charge move resisted. Mud Slap super effect, double super effective on the Steel Grok. So this is just a easy commit to the farm down. I do make a mistake here. I do throw blind. Like I assumed when I had an Electron on lead, the Staraptor would just come in and sacrificed. But a Gastrodon came in, so I'm like, okay, that's unfortunate, but okay, sure. So I just go Earth Power here after throwing the Body Slam that they let go, and they let this Earth Power go, and then they go back into this Staraptor. So I do not know what my opponent was doing here. It was going to be a tough matchup anyways, but yeah, kind of a weird one here. Staraptor is very, very glossy, but hits extremely hard. So I will absolutely shield. They went straight Brave Bird. This matchup is basically over already. And out comes the Gastrodon, but I'm going to get to a Swift here. And then just come and slap this down. And I think this was the 5-0. Yeah, so I think this was the 5-0. I was at 23.97 there. So I was at 23.97, went 5-0, went to 24.69, and then went 0-5. So it says 23.95, but then so I went up 24.67, and then I went straight back down. And then you will see, so I got 2 more teams. I got 1 3/4 of a team so far. The next team, I saw a few Bastiodons coming in the back end here. So I do have Bastiodon on my next team. It may not be the showcase. It may not be. So that's gonna be this afternoon. It may not be the thumbnail. Who else was on that team? Quillfish, Bastiodon. It was like an ABB style team, and Drifblim. It was Drifblim lead, and then trying to draw out a ground with Quillfish. Try and draw out that ground, punish it with Drifblim. Bastiodon runs free. Worked very well. Got me back up, and then I used Vespiquen as the third team, and I did 8 matches in that one, and I hit veteran, so I'm at 25, not much over veteran, like 25.03, something like that. So those are coming. I shot a couple videos of Ultra League teams from the submissions from earlier in the season, and I think even one from like last season, but it's still, the team made sense, so I still wanted to showcase it. I think it was a member too. I forget if it was a member. So those 2 will be coming sometime this week. I know there's another new Pokemon. I'm finding you guys are loving the event coverage ones of these new Pokemon, and I think it's great for me. I think it's getting me like new eyes on it on the channel, plus breaking up. There's only so many teams you can show, especially in limited cups here. Mamoswine again is a terrible lead, going straight to Gastrodon. Hoping that I can just like honestly chip here because I'm double weak to ice. So yeah, I wouldn't use the same. What is the meta? Let's just talk about the meta and what it is. So I'm finding that it's evolving quickly already. A million Drapions. Don't get me wrong. Drapion is everywhere. I saw a decent amount of Dusknoirs. I saw a ton of Gastrodons to deal with the Drapions. I didn't see a ton of Gliscors, quite honestly. No Overquills. Maybe a couple Quillfish. 1 Glade. Like a lot of Vespiquens. Vespiquen or Vespiqueen? I don't see. I'm going to say Vespiquen. Bunch of those. Mamoswine. Mamoswine is the number 13 ranked Pokemon, and there's some doubles above. So, yeah, I saw a decent amount of Mamoswines that you're seeing here. Very spammy. Powder Snow, Icicle Spear. Very spammy combo. And then some Drifblins, Abomasnows as the other ice. Yeah. So really the top 15 was everywhere. And I saw a few Palkias. I saw a couple of people comment in my video that they're just going to run like double Dragon Breath users just to be toxic. A couple Lickies. Because there's really not a lot of fighters. Actually, Lucario is on my 3rd team, I guess, with the Vespiquen. Yeah. Lucario is on that team. So I saw a few Lickies. And Lucario was a nice answer to that. Although you do need to shield the Earthquake. And yeah, but that's the meta. It's not... I saw a couple of Empoleons. But that's about it. And then Bastiodon. So we're really looking at about 15 to 20 Pokemon here, which we kind of expect. Another Mamoswine. No wonder I got so killed on this back line here. This is the 3rd like ice Pokemon in 3 matchups against a team double weak to ice. We knew this was going to be a limited meta. That's what happens with limited metas. The second it doesn't have the word open in front of it, it becomes a 15 Pokemon meta. That's the way it is. So I still think it's going to have more play than Ultra League because I know people are not into that. So we'll showcase a bunch of these. We'll do the event. We'll do a couple Ultra Leagues because I have shot a couple from earlier in the season. And then we'll roll into next week, which is even worse, Master League and something. Yeah. And then Bastiodon. Yeah, Bastiodon showed up a bit, which is why I tested it out because I ran into like 3 or 4 of them. And I'm just like, Bastiodon's kind of interesting. You resist all the poison. You're just so bulky. Just try to avoid Gastrodon is your biggest issue. there is a lot of ice and Drifblim and Flyers and other Pokemon and coming out, so it makes sense. And this one, getting out into Gliscor. Drapion comes in, so this is not bad of an answer for me. Baiting again. This time successfully, which is nice. See if I just go straight Earthquake to try and grab that second shield. I may need to shield one though, because they can probably go double Aqua Tails here. Yeah, so they're going to go double Aqua Tails, so I'll have to shield. Nope, baiting again. I could just go double Aerial Ace, worst case scenario. And they do shield, and I'm going to throw here, assuming that they're going to get to a move. And I don't want to have to like burn my second shield. And it does a good amount of damage. Not enough to take out, and they do get to move. And I'm going to have to probably eat it on the Gastrodon again. I assume. Yeah. Because if they have a Drapion, they've got an answer to Drapion, right? But yeah, the Gastrodon in the lead. That's right. Was it the Bastion again in the back? I forget what it was here. Does not take me out. Get to the Earth Power. Am I going to try an aggressive Thunder Shock down? I may try an aggressive Thunder Shock down. Which they chip me here. Oh, it's an Earth Power, yeah. So that's a little more than chip and another Bastion. Which is too bulky. And it could take like 3 wild charges. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like the meta's already evolving. I think it's like a lot of I think it's like either Drapion or like anti-Drapion like Gastrodon, or anti-Gastrodon like Drifblim and Vespiquen, or anti-that with Bastiodon. And you get a freaking square that all goes back together and makes it a cup that people will get bored with very, very quickly, unfortunately. Yeah, we know this with limited cups. So we will just keep putting out teams while people play and go from there. So if you like to, yeah, like I said, I'm going to definitely, I'll get bored of this league. I'm already I'm not bored of it yet. Like I banked a set and I played all 30 games today, and I'll probably play at least a couple more straight days. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I play full sets today, Wednesday, and full sets on Thursday. And then I can very much see myself like almost not playing at all until the next Tuesday rollover. I think that's what it's going to be. But if you want to submit a team, link in the description. Earlier the better. Like I try to shoot in advance. So if you submit a team within the first 24 hours, you are very, very likely to be showcased. That's the way it is with all the leagues. Great leagues. Like if it's a limited cup and you send me a video within the first 24 hours, there's like an almost 100% chance you are going to be showcased. If it's like a Great League team, those are pretty likely to be showcased too, because Great League comes around so often and I can get ahead on those videos. So Great League's always positives too. Ultra League, Master League, not as many people play. They're always paired with like usually a more accessible cup. A little less likely you're going to used. And then if you like for example, if you sent me a video of this Hisui Cup on like Saturday, there's almost a 0% chance you're going to get showcased, because I probably have my videos done for Sunday and Monday already. Yeah. Anyways, those are just some thoughts if you want to submit. Link in the description. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Let me know what you are using, team ideas. If there's like another Pokemon that I haven't mentioned out of like the 20 that I just mentioned that are usable or sneaky or something, let me know in the comments below, as I'm looking for other teams to try. So that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.